AEK faced Romania's Universitatea Craiova in the UEFA Conference League. In terms of the total market value of their regular starters, AEK held a clear advantage, with a squad value of €33.6 million compared to UCR's €16 million. However, despite this difference, the overall flow of the match showed little gap between the two teams. Although AEK secured a 3-2 victory, they conceded 15 total shots, 5 shots on target, and allowed as many as 4 big chances. In this analysis, I will examine the defensive issues AEK displayed during the match and explore why these problems occurred. AEK generally maintain a mid-block press. However, when the opponent attempts a back pass during the build-up phase, AEK shift their line higher and transition into a high press, switching to a man-oriented pressing approach. This makes the opponent's build-up more difficult and forces them into long ball play. Once the opponent plays the ball into the wide areas, the players who were previously engaged in man-oriented marking quickly collapse toward one flank. This creates 2 versus 1 or 3 versus 1 situations, allowing AEK to aggressively press the ball carrier and execute a pressing trap to win possession. When the opponent successfully progresses the build-up and enters Zone C, AEK switch their structure into a compact low block. At this point, the opponent, UCR, struggle to attempt between the lines passes through the block and are forced to recycle possession backward. In this scene, a defender follows and closes down a UCR attacker who moves forward to receive the ball, successfully winning possession. However, the space vacated by the advancing defender should have been immediately covered by a midfielder, but this did not occur. As a result, a UCR attacker regained possession and was able to penetrate easily into the uncovered space and deliver a cross. A similar issue occurs in this scene. A defender follows a rival attacker who moves out to receive the ball, but nearby players fail to provide immediate cover. Instead, a delayed cover is applied, allowing the opponent to penetrate into the space created by this delay. In this scene, it appears that the coordination between two players was not properly executed. At the moment, the possessor on the left flank plays a back pass. An immediate defensive switch should occur so that each defender can apply pressure on the rival from a shorter distance. However, the switch defense does not take place. As a result, a player positioned farther away attempts to press the receiver too late, and due to the longer distance, the cross is ultimately allowed. This scene shows a defense-to-attack transition by UCR. In this moment, the defender tracking the left-sided attacker should have narrowed the diagonal corridor rather than pressing the ball carrier directly, reducing the space together with the opposite defender. Instead, the defender focused on pressing the possessor, which opened an interior gap. This allowed another penetrating runner to exploit the space. The attacker who broke through immediately released the ball to the right-sided attacker, and the chain reaction of spatial collapse led to a clear goal-scoring opportunity. A similar problem appears again in this scene. During a rival counterattack, the defender positioned on the far side fails to close the distance diagonally and instead moves in a straight line. As a result, gaps open near the edge of the penalty area. Although a second ball situation emerges, the expanded spacing prevents effective defensive coverage, and the opponent scores from a second shot. This scene highlights an issue during a long ball contest. When the opposing defender plays a direct long ball forward, players other than the primary defender challenging the ball should immediately move closer to prepare for the second ball duel. However, one player fails to move at all, and another player positioned vertically is unable to participate in the contest due to the increased distance. As a result, AEK concede the second ball. This ultimately leads to a dangerous situation through a penetration run. In this scene, midfielder number 20 fails to track a rival player, making a run to the right and instead moves centrally, forcing the left fullback to step out and cover. As a result, the left side space in behind becomes vacant, allowing another attacker to make a secondary run into the same area. This creates a chain reaction in which spaces are repeatedly exposed.